What's up, Devils? J-Dog back for another goddamn video, bright and early as always. In today's video, we're going to be discussing, no proofreading whatsoever on this one, so raw dogging it. It's the Judas Iscariot overrated video. 876 views 8 days ago as I'm looking at this, and it's got 77 comments, so quite a few comments. Didn't have time to proofread them because I wanted to get a quick video knocked out this evening, and I'm like, fuck it. Yeah, just going straight in fucking raw. So here the fuck we go. So whatever the hell we get, go and search out the goddamn questions. And the first one we got from here, from Pikel. Instead of Michael, Pikel with a P. Shout out to you, brah. From what Sven told me, he's referring to Sven from Aborted, because I do remember him, somebody talking about this, told me in the past, Lang Shed, the thing I couldn't pronounce, is pronounced as Lang Cheng. Yeah, that makes it much easier for when I see it again, because I didn't know that. It doesn't look like that. I'm looking at you put the correct pronunciation, it looks like Leng Teshe is what it looks like, but Lang Cheng. Fair enough. I don't know why you name your fucking band that. It sounds like a fucking Chinese name or something, and Aborted's from, Belgium, I believe? Belgium and the Netherlands? I think Belgium. So I don't know why I don't know what the, it just sounds like a fucking name. Then why the hell would you have that? It sounds like if you're a Chinese death metal band, they'd have it. I could be totally wrong if it's not Chinese. Sorry about that, brah, but that's what the fuck it looks like, goddammit. Man of War re-recording of Battle Hymns was total garbage. Haven't heard it, but I don't know why they would need to re-record an album as usual. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever heard a re-recording of an album like this is better than the original. Could be something I'm not thinking of, but not that I'm aware of. My question today is, what do you think of interludes in the middle of an album? I personally hate them. To me, when you're listening to an album and each track is kicking ass, then on track 5 or 6 there has to be some acoustic guitar interlude or a noise track. It kills the vibe for me. I mean, who's a good example with a bunch of interludes? The only thing that's popping in my mind based on what we're describing, would you count the instrumental? I just call it an instrumental on, like, say, Christian Black Force Domain. Personally, I fucking love that track. I thought it was great. But as far as interludes, I mean, doesn't Christian do it on a couple others? Maybe later ones where there's acoustic? Yeah, they do. I think even on a Great Execution, maybe they might. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think too much of it because I don't think there's too much that I can think of that of albums that I like that have that. But so nothing that I thought was a big deal that bothered me that much. The one thing I do think they're more like an outro. I think it was maybe in the middle of one or two of them. Hemorrhage is on that roll. They were doing that. What was the track called? It's like Opus maybe. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. There's part 1, part 2, part 10, part 12 on each album. They started it on Groom, I believe, which was their second album. They kept doing it in each album. It's kind of like an outro on some of the discs, where it's just kind of like screaming and a bunch of banging noise. I always thought that was kind of just unnecessary and stupid. Although I'm a huge fucking Hemorrhage fan, but that was the one thing I didn't like. And so I don't know if that's kind of what you're referring to. Was that shit I always thought was kind of a little bit, when it was in the, I think one of the albums it is in the middle. I'm trying to think which album's in the middle. Maybe Apology for Pathology. Can't remember. I think one of them was on it, and I usually just fucking skip it if the remote's handy. Oh, he's got fucking clicked on his 3 people are replying to him, so we'll skip those. From Analyze. I don't know what's up with that name, but it's a fucking tongue twister like a motherfucker. Re-recording albums are silly. Remastered, sure, but leave the recordings as they are. Production makes mistakes and all. I agree. Keeps the character on there. Sometimes mistakes, even though it's wasn't intentional or maybe it's amateur, it kind of gives the album character. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. I guarantee Carcass, they think Recapitulation sounds like shit. Dude, if they were to go and re-record that now, those guys would need to be fucking bitch slapped. It's like, dude, that's what makes it fucking great, is the fucking how it sounds. Question, are your wife and kids mental metalheads too, or are they like, Dad, turn down the flesh grind, please? I only have one kid. He's actually my stepson. I got it. He just turned. It was like literally like the week after his 4th birthday when I met my wife. So he's gonna be 13 next month. So I've been in most of his life, but so he still sees his dad and shit, and his dad doesn't like metal by any fucking stretch. He's not into metal at all. No, not at all. But he doesn't really say anything because at the same time when I played, he's usually not around. The only time he's sometimes around is if we're going to like a family function or something. And my rules is my car, my fucking my tunes. But he doesn't really care. He's I mean, he's like a typical fucking, 12, 13-year-old, 14-year-old kid of any, I'll say, he's on his fucking phone all the time. So he's literally just puts his headphones in, he's on YouTube. So he doesn't say shit. And my wife, she likes metal. I mean, she's not sitting there like going out and buying records and stuff like that, but she likes it. And sometimes like something in the car she won't like she didn't like the melting rot. She didn't like the vocals on that. But for the most part, usually what I put in, she at least thinks it's decent. She goes to all the shows with me. So she likes it enough for that sense. And she definitely, the bands like obviously like Merciful Fate and stuff, she definitely likes that. But it's some of the real brutal shit. I mean, she stomachs it for the most part and likes some of it. So she likes Macabre too a lot. So questions. God damn it, where the fuck they at? A lot of fucking just commenting. I don't even remember what the fucking topic other than the Judas Iscariot thing. I like the sounds of this. From Monstrous Nuclear Stockpile. I've been really into and fascinated by the war metal type stuff from India slash Sri Lanka. Fuck, I don't know. India, I'm sure I stumbled across a couple bands. I'm trying to think who the fuck's from India, but Sri Lanka? Throw some bands in there, Devils. I can't think of anybody from Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka, am I even pronouncing that goddamn country right? I don't even fucking know. I want to say I could count on one hand how many times we've ever shipped there in our life too, like for Hell's Headbangers. I know we have because I've seen it. Because I remember the first time I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is this even a country? Never heard of it. But I remember we have, and it's very, very few. So I was like, is there even a metal scene over there? I don't know. For me, I'm not sure. What are your thoughts on bands like Genocide Shrines, Tetragrammaticide, Capella Conflict, etc.? Are all those bands from India and Sri Lanka? I fucking love your videos. I've been binge watching them since I came across them a few days. I was like to hear it, brah. Go all the way back. I just started this channel. My very first video went up pre-bastard birthday, December 24th, and I've done a video ever since, every single day. So just click the fucking video link and go to videos under my channel thing and go back and watch every goddamn video. Preferably just start the first one and go up. You'll love them all, brah. As far as the bands you mentioned, Kapala, I've definitely listened to all of them except for Kapala, and none of them it's just background stuff. I mean, nothing that I cared about. I will say this: the Tetragrammaticide, we got that in. I was like, it's whatever, it's okay. It sold really well for us though. Got it in. That was the main reason I was curious to check it out because I didn't hear them at the time we got LPs in. Wasn't it Iron Bonehead that put it out? Pretty sure it was Iron Bonehead. Correct me if I'm wrong. We got them in there selling. I'm like, I can't even pronounce this goddamn name. What the fuck is this? And I looked at it, and then I was like, I'm going to check this out. Put on the player. I was like, it's okay. This is an obvious one, but from Joe Dinkins, goddammit. Question. This question came to mind thanks to a question from Goatman, and it's somewhat... Goatman, we're probably going to get to him in a little bit. He comments on every fucking video. And it somewhat goes along with his question. What do you think is the most overcloned sound of death metal? Example is the Swedish death metal sound. You pretty much answered the goddamn question. I don't even know if it's debatable. Seems like almost everyone wants to be the next Dismember or second coming left hand. I haven't seen that for years, and like I love the Swedish death metal scene. And there's a lot of clone bands I do like for example, Left Hand Path I love. Took me years to get into Clandestine, but I do like that. The Nihilist demos are great. Dismember, I like every single record by. Dismember is definitely my favorite Swedish death metal band as a whole. Carnage, Grave, the early Grave stuff I like, and you think, hey, you guys haven't seen Snake in a while. And the new guys. So have you ever guys seen, I showed him once on video, and somebody asked to see him again. He just happens to be in my fucking office. We adopted him, and then when we got him, we saw him in pictures and shit. He has just one eye, and we went and got him. I'm like, yeah, we'll name him Snake, like Snake Plissken, which is one of my, Escape from New York and Escape from L.A., one of my favorite movies of all time. But here he is. See, poor guy. He just got one eye. That's how we got him. He got injured. He was just a stray, which I don't know how well he's a stray or what, because he's super fucking friendly. And he loves all people, even like strangers that come in. Like he loves to be held and pet and loves attention. So, I don't know, because a lot of times strays, they won't even come up to you, you know what I mean? So I don't know if he just grew up on like a farm or something, but what he had a bunch of fucking problems. You can see his fucking one ear, too. He had an infection there. He had to get that drained. And he had one of his paws he almost lost. He had an infection in that. They had to drain that, and we had him on antibiotics for a couple months too. Had to switch him up on a couple of antibiotics. We got him to get it until they finally got the right one, and because they thought they're gonna have to amputate his paw, but now he's all good to go. We've had him for a few years now. Coolest fucking cat ever. And I tease my wife all the time. He's definitely my wife's favorite. She's like, I like him because we have 4 cats. She's like, I like them all evenly. I was like, he's your favorite. She's like, no, he's not. So he is. Hey, where the fuck we love? Oh yeah, as far as clone bands, you know a band I've been listening to a lot lately too. I've always been a fan of. I've been a fan of them since I was a teenager. The first album I picked up was Blood Soul. Is the band Fleshcrawl. They're from Germany, but they have that Swedish sound. Very clone. I've been listening to them a lot lately because we got a lot of the reissue discs from Kill Again Records. And I gotta say, I think that band got a little bit better. Their first album was A Descendant of Madness. I just have an LP. I have a bootleg LP and a CD. I got that maybe like 7, 8 years ago. I thought it's good. It's a good death metal album. I think that album's kind of boring. Blood Soul I always liked because that was the first time I heard. And then, but they really got that Swedish guitar sound on the later albums. It's kind of like, oh, this again. But some of those later albums, their songs are really fucking good. Trying to think of the ones check our site that should be up or whatever. A few of the albums, like it was kind of like going back. I kind of heard all the later ones. I don't want to say at the same time, but it seemed like a lot at the same time. Kind of like this one, we got 3 or 4 different discs at the same time. So I got them mixed up, which is which. But every time I put them, I'm super entertained. I'm like, this is nothing new, nothing original, total Swedish death metal ripoff, completely unnecessary because there's a million bands, but they are really good songwriters, so they get a pass. And I've always said that if you're going to be a clone band, the only way you're getting by with me is your songs got to be super fucking good and catchy. Another band was fucking Intrails, especially the first 4 records. The last 2 I'm a fan of, but the first 4 were king. Then the other last 2 were they're good, but definitely not great. Oh yeah, this guy's mentioned Adam Schnellback. I had a strange Exhumed 3-inch CD. It's a split by my old band. Did a 3-inch. I think the 3-inch you're speaking of, wasn't that the same thing as the 7-inch, the split with Ingrowing? I'm almost positive. What is the song "Something Sick in This Way Comes"? I believe that because I own the 7-inch. I don't. I hate those 3-inch CDs because they get lost. Where am I going to store this? You feel like you're going to break the goddamn thing. Personally, I'm not a fan of the 3-inch CDs, but I'm almost positive that came out as a 3-inch CD as well, and that's what you're referring to. That I don't have. I just have the 7-inch, and that song "Something Sick in This Way Comes." I think that's a great fucking Zoom song. Killer Video, J-Dog, do you ever collect and or plaster your bedroom walls with flyers from shows? I know you're into displaying picture discs. Do you have any sick posters, prints, or paintings that are into and hung up on your walls? Oh, that's from Carpenter Corpse too, goddammit. Didn't give him the shout out. I know the Bras, the Devils love fucking shout outs. Well, I'm assuming you do. No, I just have the pictures on my wall and I have no room. See, everything else is covered. The opening spaces is picture discs. I have a bunch of posters that from when I was a kid and stuff like that, teenager, and even my early adult years that I just don't have room to put them. Obviously, I own a house, but the wife doesn't want them all over the fucking house. I'd be cool with it, but she didn't dig it. So no, but they're actually just in my closet right across from here. But I got a Mayhem poster, a Sabat poster, some of the flags that we picked up that had it for Hell's, like I think a couple morticians. I got a mortician hacked up for barbecue poster because there was extras of that when we did the mortician hacked up for barbecue, the first pressing came posters, and then there was some extra posters. So I took one, so I didn't take one on my LP. And if I want to say about like a Toxic Holocaust poster too, maybe I don't, but a bunch of others I haven't looked at in a while. They're all just rolled up, and I have an Acid Witch Stone poster. So hey, Stinks, knock it off, goddammit. Next goddamn question. Full Metal Ginger. You may have answered this before, but how do you feel about 12-inch EPs that only have 2 or 3 songs? Personally, I think they're awesome. Such a waste of wax. So which is it? Waste of wax or awesome? It's like you're kind of contradicting. Is it like I don't like? Is you being sarcastic? I'm not sure. Um, Generally, I'm kind of like fuck, but I do like it if it's a limited 12-inch and they're exclusive songs only to that release. Like for example, I think the split with Toxic Holocaust Municipal Waste. Forget what songs by Toxic are on that. I haven't spun in a while. You go back and put that in the fucking playlist. I think those songs are only on that, and I like that. When they gay it up and they fucking take the same songs and put on their next album and shit, I hate that fucking crap. I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this record then? Just play frisbee with it? This is fucking useless. But when it's limited, like three to 500 copies, and like it's 10 years down the line, it's long out of print, and that's the only way you own those songs, then I think that's really fucking cool. It's the same idea for 7-inches. That's when I like 7-inches. But most of the guys, they reuse the songs, and I fucking hate that, dude. Nothing makes my dick itch more. Gutter Christ. One more if I can, devil. But I didn't see your other question. If you did I skip right past it? Or maybe you're just referring to another video because I've obviously commented on some of your shit. Can you chat or touch briefly on your current gym split? Uh-oh, somebody devil's going to hate this, man. They hate the gym questions. But hey, I go down the list. Didn't even know what the fuck was going to be on here. I'll answer quickly, though, for the devils. I hate it. I know you've talked in the past throughout the years about this time to time, but update me, man. I'm really interested in what your day-to-day currently looks like in the gym. Appreciate you, dog. Yeah, my split right now, I train 4 days a week, and I do cardio pretty much every fucking day. So Sundays, day one, I just do back. And at the end, I just do some forearms, 3 sets of forearm curls, and then 3 sets of reverse forearm curls. The only reason I do those is it's injury prevention. Nothing crazy, like 80-pound fucking barbell for the curls for like 30 reps, 2 sets, 30-pound for reverse for like 30 reps, 2 sets. That's just to like work those little intricate muscles. Otherwise, if you never do them, you get a lot of aches and pains over the years goes by. So I just do it at the end of my back workout. And yeah, so that's day one. Monday, I take off. It's a rest day, although I do cardio in the morning. Tuesday, I do chest, shoulders, and a little bit of tries. And then Wednesday is off. Thursday, I do legs. And then Friday, I do arms. And then calves and abs, I do generally 3 times abs, 2 times calves, but I just do it with any days I'm doing cardio. I do it, calves I do after cardio because it's nice and warmed up. And abs I do pre-cardio. And abs take me like, you don't need to dick around doing all this time for the abs. You just don't. I mean, I do like 2 exercises, 3 sets each, 30 to 60 seconds rest in between to do 5 abs. It takes me like 8 to 10 minutes. And my current routine, so my cardio is going up because I just started my diet on the, what was it, April, whatever the first Monday of April. So I think it was the 3rd or the 4th. So as I'm doing this video, I'm like 12 days in. And I'm leaning out day by day, god damn it. So I'll try diet for another 8 to 10 weeks. That is what I'm currently, the days I train. What are some of your, from Goat Hoof 44, what are some of your favorite Nunslaughter splits? What splits? I can tell you some of my favorite Nunslaughter 7-inches for sure. Let's see if any of them are split. My favorites, definitely the Trifecate 7-inch might be my number one favorite. Sickened by the Sight of Christ, also that's a split with Cyanide, so definitely that, because Sickened by the Sight of Christ is one of my favorite Nunslaughter songs. The Cerebus 7-inch that we did, that's definitely one of my favorites, but that's not a split. Trying to think which songs are on there for some. Oh, the split with Nomenon. What is it? Is it the song Anoint the Chosen? It's kind of a more recent Nunslaughter 7-inch, so he's like 5 or 6 years old now, but more recent to me because I'm thinking like 90s and early 2000s. I thought that song was just one song, and then the Nomenon, I forget what Nomenon did. And I think Nomenon to me is another okay band. It was just kind of another Swedish death metal band. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They don't suck. It's always good, decent background shit, but it's just another Swedish death metal band. But the Nunslaughter side, I love that. Other splits that I really like. The split with Bloodsick, is that the song Blood Devil on there? Was it with Bloodsick? I think it was. I mean, was it with Bloodsick? Could be wrong. I could picture the Nunslaughter sign. There's a 7-inch pictures for it. Those are the ones that come right in my mind. But definitely, like all in all, as far as like some of my favorite 7-inches, those are some of them. Oh, another one I really like, and we did too. I really like the Unholy Grave split. That one was really good. Oh, and the as far as bands, there's 2 best combo that I like is the Nunslaughter Hemorrhage. That's definitely one of my favorite. And the song Saw Me, the first song they specifically wrote. I'll give you a little fucking story time. The Nunslaughter Hemorrhage split, the way that came out to be, I'll probably make this the last goddamn question. This will be a little bit of story. The Nunslaughter Hemorrhage split that Hell's put out, if you guys don't know, the first 100 copies is on a colored vinyl. I think it's on like a yellow splatter vinyl, and it comes with a different outer cover, and on it is glued on there a real metal saw blade. It's heavy as fuck. It's like probably like 3 pounds or so, just the blade itself. And they're like, I think there's cement glued on there. Eric's the one that manually did them, and it's got like this blood wax on there, and it's got the logo stamped on there, Hemorrhage and Nunslaughter. That's the first 100 copies. If you're lucky to have one, they're fucking awesome. I still have one to this day. And the reason Nunslaughter did a song called Saw Me is because they wrote it specifically for that, because it was kind of last minute, because that split was initially supposed to be Exhumed Hemorrhage. long story short, I kind of briefly talked about this once. I think that was around the time when Matt Harvey was moving to Hawaii, and we were waiting forever. It was like a couple of years or whatever. Wanted to get it out, and just I think he wasn't like getting back too often or something like that. And so, anyways, we're like, all right, we're gonna go with a different band. And we had the idea for Saw Blades, and we even bought the Saw Blades because Nunslaughter, Saw is a law. Fucking, they bring out the chainsaw, limb from limb. They're known for the saw shit, right? The chainsaw on the fucking gore metal cover. They're known for a saw. And Hemorrhage wanted to do a split with them. And basically, it got more and more obvious that Exhumed wasn't going to pull through at least anytime soon. So we asked Hemorrhage, hey, would you be okay if we did it with Nunslaughter? I'm pretty sure they would go for it. I mean, they're good friends of ours. We've done several releases by them. They always got shit in the oven or they work fast. And that's when I was in contact with Louisma back then. And I asked him, and he said, yeah, that sounds cool. And so I told him, I remember specifically calling Jim, and he's like, yeah, that's fucking great. And hey, Snake's fucking joining the party. God damn, he's nudging the fucking camera. Can you believe this shit, devils? Anyways, so he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's awesome. And we told him the Saw Blade idea, and Don especially, he's like really ecstatic. He's like, fuck yeah, I'd like a 7-inch, because all the specialty Nunslaughter stuff he was always for. And it's fucking a Saw Blade. We don't have any goddamn records with Saw Blades on them, so he's up for it. So just Nunslaughter being as creative as they are, they went in and he wrote the song "Saw Me." And if you know the intro, like what is it? Cut God out, gotta cut God out, get him out. He's like, gotta get him out. He's like, time to break out the saw. That's how it kicks in. And buddy, get down. So that's how it kicked up. But that's how that 7-inch became, was for that reason. But the song "Saw Me," it has nothing to do with Hell's Headbangers. I think that's one of my favorite Nunslaughter songs. Not like top 3, but probably my top 10 songs. And I keep telling Don, I was like, for the set list, I was like, add that in. He's like, oh yeah, maybe. He's like, I keep forgetting about that one. I was like, you guys have never done it live, or at least I've never seen you do it live. And I'm pretty sure you just say, no, we never played that one live. I was like, it's a fucking great song. And I've always said too, it's maybe not as going to be prevalent now that Nunslaughter did a lot of the Devil's Conjuries. I was like, it kind of weeds out the posers, because it's like they're the limited 7-inches that a lot of the posers in you see who the true diehard fans are, who's going to really know those songs, at least prior to the Devil's Conjuries, because they own the 7-inches. Most people, they just know the songs off Goat or whatever. It's kind of just like, it's the casual listener, right? So it's like, it's just kind of cool. And like, if you guys see the guys that really know the songs that are fist banging mania during the fucking show, those are the true fucking Nunslaughter fans. And I kind of think the same for, like, for example, Destroy 666. That's the number one band on my bucket list next after Hemorrhage to see live. I kind of said the same. Do they play any of the songs? Maybe they might play Satanic Speed Metal, maybe. But do they play anything off King of Kings or something? And how many of the goddamn posers know the songs? You know what I mean? Probably just know some of the album songs. So, so a little story for that time for you. I wasn't even planning on that one, but that would definitely be one of my favorite Nunslaughter splits. Just as both bands and both sides. Feasting on Purulence is the main song and the side call for the Hemorrhage side. Fucking great 7-inch. Highly recommend it. Go out. We actually did a 7-inch picture disc too, and it actually recently just sold out because we did the picture disc about 2 years ago now. It was kind of a re-release because the 7-inch was long time ago. It was a 7-inch, well over 10 years ago, and the 7-inch picture just came out beautiful too. So if that's the only one you can find, highly recommend it. Great fucking songs, and it looks fucking awesome. So there you have it. That's my answers on the fucking Nunslaughter splits. That's it for this one, goddamn devils. Any other questions you want answered like that? Put it in the fucking comments box. You know how we do. It's get them in there, and I'll get them fucking answered. And I'll see you at 6 a.m. on the next one. Later.